All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Week 6 press conference with inside linebackers coach and defensive coordinator Peter Sirmon ahead of Cal's ACC home opener against Miami. We will go to Jeff Rado from Cal Bears on SI for the first question.
Peter, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Jeff.
Tell us what you see when you watch Cam Ward on tape this year, and is he any different than he was the last couple of years when you played against him at Washington State?
You know, he's possessing the same playmaking mentality. He's very elusive in the pocket. I think in this situation, he was extremely productive at Washington State. We had significant issues kind of managing him, if you could call it that. But he's surrounded by a lot of really talented players. But you're seeing him utilize the run game still. And then when some of the off-schedule plays break down, he has a great talent, great knack for finding open receivers and extending plays with his legs as well.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Steve Croner from the SF Chronicle.
Morning, Peter.
Hello, Steve.
Ask this question to Justin. You're going against, obviously, a quarterback whom you faced the last couple of years, and you're also going against a head coach whom you faced previously. Which of those two things is more relevant, more particular to your preparation for this game on Saturday?
Well, thankfully, the coaches don't get to play. We handle the guys that are on the field. The coaches are obviously great. Coach Cristobal does a fantastic job. He's put together great teams, great offenses where he's been. But the guys that we got to get ready for is our 11 on defense and their 11 on offense. And the way they utilize the quarterback is obviously very impactful. But Cam Ward is obviously a dynamic player. He's up for every award in college football, and rightly so. He's extremely hard to defend. So the biggest issue we have is the quarterback.
Okay, we'll go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
What were some of the things that you guys focused on during the bye week? Was there anything that maybe stood out from the first few games that you were like, we really need to, get better at this?
Yeah, right now I think, third downs is a point of emphasis. I think those are, we call CDs, they're critical downs, thirds and fourth downs. So those are always areas that I think we can go back and, look at how we're preparing for them, what we're preparing for, and then ultimately what we're getting. And then conversely, how are people attacking us with the different presentations we're giving them on third down. So that's been really a point of emphasis for us on the deep dive in what we're doing on third downs, how we can improve on that. And I think, that kind of goes back to that, the last game that we played. I felt we had, a decent game plan, but there were 2 third downs that ended up proving to be critical in the outcome of the game.
We'll go to Cody Henderson from the league winners next.
Yeah, Coach. Xavier Restrepo and Isaiah Horton have been their 2 top receivers so far. What have you seen from them so far early in the season, and how do you slow those 2 guys down?
Well, I think they've done a nice job of, first of all, featuring them, getting them the ball. You'll see them moved around, which makes it challenging for us to, quote unquote, get to them. They're going to have different alignments. They're going to get some short motions. They're going to do some stacks. They're going to build some ways that it's hard to really get after those guys. But it's like kind of all offenses right now. It's, you can't just focus on one because they are very complementary to one another. There's times that they keep the ball around the line of scrimmage for quick games, tunnels, and then you can see some designed shot plays as well. So they're doing a great job of mixing it up, utilizing their players and the tight ends. I think the tight ends are a very talented and extremely deep group. So it's, they only can play at 11 at a time, but they have enough skill guys. They could have a lot of fun with the different personnel groupings they can build.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll go back to Jeff Barada.
Peter, you guys finally got to use Liam Johnson, your Ivy League transfer the other day. Tell me, did he play mostly or exclusively on special teams, or did you give him some snaps on defense? And what will he be able to do for you once he kind of gets in the rhythm?
Yeah, Florida State, we brought him and he played exclusively on special teams last Saturday. As he's coming back, I think we're mindful of getting his legs underneath him, preparing him because he did miss a significant amount of fall camp. So all those reps that were invested in all that opportunity to get comfortable with the defense, he's still getting that. And the bye week was big for him. But he's going to be in the mix, the linebacker position, and you'll see a steady dose of him on special teams. And then we'll just continue to monitor him, how he's doing and what opportunities present themselves on defense.
You referenced their tight ends. One of them is Cam McCormick, who is 26 years old and playing his 9th season of college football, started at Oregon, as I'm sure you know. Can you just wrap your head around the idea of what he's been through with all the injuries he's faced and the fact that he's still playing?
Well, I think it's probably a testament to, his grit and his perseverance in it. Obviously, he must love the game, and, hasn't been impacted by some of the discouraging things, the injuries that happen to everybody in the collegiate level. And for him to be able to get awarded some of those additional years and still have the passion to play, I think that if it's within the rules of the NCAA and it's done the right way, then I applaud him for coming back and playing and living passionately for what he wants to do.
Thanks.
We'll go back to Steve Kroner.
Yeah, Peter, kind of a big picture thing and let you pat yourself, or more importantly, pat your players on the back. For 4 games, you haven't allowed a team more than 14 points, and I believe you haven't allowed more than 304 yards. And I don't think you guys have had a stretch like that since maybe, in a couple of years. Why have you been that much better this season, at least for 4 games, than you were maybe the previous couple?
I think this is kind of goes back to who you're playing, the players that you have, and the coaches. I feel, first of all, I think the coaches do a fantastic job with their position groups, preparing them every week. But ultimately, this is a player's game. I know we talk a lot about coaches, and coaches are a very valuable part of this, but it's trying to find the right guys that fit with, first of all, your culture and your program, which the word culture is an overused term that has a wide swath of what you're trying to communicate. But I think it's also needs to be, it can't be understated that the people you bring into your team have to fit. And the definition of fit is for everybody to determine as a coach, what fits in your room, what are the personalities, what are they leaving from, what are they coming to? So I think the talent is extremely important, because if you're not good enough, you can't play at this level. But once you've identified that the talent and the skill is adequate, and then it's like, okay, is this going to be a good teammate? We want to make this an individual sport, NIL, all the awards. But the further you get away from that, the more problems you have, in my opinion. So I think, first of all, are they talented enough to help you? Second of all, are they going to fit with what we're asking them to do in school, in the locker room, with Coach Wilcox? I mean, there's just so many different layers to that. And then from there, it's okay, what's the scheme going to look like for them? We've adapted a little bit to what we're calling on defense. But I wouldn't say that that's the main reason. I think we've brought in talented players. We've stayed relatively available on game days, and I think the kids are understanding what we're asking them to do. They're playing extremely hard, and to do that, I think it gives you an opportunity. Now, I think this is by far our greatest test we have. So, the first 4 games, I thought we've had an opportunity to play better than we did. And for us, we have to, every play is critical on defense, and so we have to continue to play at a high level. But go back to the origination of your question. It's players doing what we ask them to do and doing it as hard as they can.
Great. Thank you.
We'll go back to Matt Moreno.
You guys have played a lot of this season with David Reese not at full strength or not out there at all. How do you guys go about getting him more involved, and what do you want to see from him as you guys move forward now?
Yeah, I mean, player availability is based on obviously the health of the player and the decision of the medical. So we need David to be back at full strength for us to be our best version on defense. The bye week came at a opportunistic time for him, and we just need to continue to work him into it. And it's hard sometimes to come back from injury. The want to and the desire is there, but sometimes when you're just not feeling 100%, it's hard to go out there and be yourself. So David just needs to continue to heal up. He's going to continue to push like he has the entire time that that he's been dinged up a little bit. And, I think when he gets healthy, you'll see the David that we expect to see.
And what can you say about the group around him? Because it feels like the level of play from some of those other guys who are getting more opportunities has been, what you guys have needed.
I agree. I think in who we brought in, Ryan McCulloch has taken tremendous strides in development. Xavier Carlton is another player that has been with us for several years, but I'm extremely proud of him because you're still seeing the development, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see players plateau. Shek Fall is another player that has come in and given us some really meaningful reps. So I think Vic did a nice job of identifying the position, finding some areas of need, and then trying to find those guys and going out and bringing the right type of guys in, all the while developing the guys we had on our roster.